we are moving as a committee, targeting Manicaland, Masvingo, Midlands, Bulawayo and Madrid North, with the aim of finding the impact of the Empower Bank in transforming the fortunes of the young people, as well as also finding out the challenges the young people are facing from trying to access funding from the Empower Bank. Most young people are crying because of changes in the value of our currency. Each time they go and apply, when they get the money, it will be devalued because of the inflation issues. And also young people cry because they don't have any collateral security, which is required by the bank. Although the bank is saying that it has relaxed the requirements regarding the collateral security, but still young people are still crying. And also the other young people are also crying because they don't have anything to provide as collateral security, and they don't even have records of businesses because they haven't started. They want to borrow so that they can start businesses. So they don't have any track records, they don't have financial records. Also, it seems the bank needs to be decentralized to rural areas, as it is mainly concentrated in the urban areas. It's something that young people are crying that they should devolve to districts and wards in the rural areas as well.
What safety cushions or safety nets are there in the context of the rising inflation or the changing of the daily changes in the rate in terms of our multi-currency system, whereby if I get a loan to start up a business at a certain rate, but by the time that I would want to do my business, or by the time that I'm doing my business, the money might not be sufficient enough to cover the same business that I got the loan for.
I think one of the biggest challenges with the Empowerment Bank, Youth Empowerment Bank, that is making it its work have less impact is, number one, there is policy inconsistency on the part of government. So we have got a situation here where the Minister of Finance will announce that we have banned lending for all financial institutions, including banks like Empower Bank and the Youth Empower Bank and the Women Empower Bank. And the primary role of such banks is to give loans to youth and support developmental initiatives for youth. And so when lending is banned, it means that the primary role and the primary function of the Youth Empower Bank has been defeated. Now there is a reversal of that policy in a few days that comes, right? And if I'm a young person who has gone to Youth Empower Bank to get a loan so that I can start a business or any initiative that I, for example, I want to be producing detergents or what, there is another a statutory instrument that comes the next day which says these products can now be imported from South Africa, which means even that loan that I got from Empower Bank is not of use, because from that side people can import more for less. And when I try to import the same products that I wanted to produce from South Africa, you are then told that it has been reversed again. So the success or failure of Empower Bank rests solely on the inconsistency of government. We hear that there is a Vision 2030, and one of the principles of Vision 2030 is leave no one behind. Is this Empower Bank devolved in communities, rural communities, where most of the young people are, where most of the young people that needed to be empowered are? We do not have Empower Bank in Chibi, we do not have Empower Bank in Zaka, yet these are the areas that are in most need. These are the areas that need to be serviced by the Empower Bank. So the whole principle of achieving Vision 2030 and the whole and upper middle income economy cannot be achieved if these initiatives are not involved, and it will divert the whole principle of leaving no one behind.
Panyaya timing that's doctor ukuthi patino apply my loans aya ninyaya ma process awanaita vanenge vachita ma quotations, saka ma quotations aya patino matora anenge achi reflect ma prices ema current rates anditika, saka tatikumbira kuti timing yenyu yekudisseminate ma loans aya inge inogurwawo kuti ikhurumize kumitawo zvinhu zvedu sati zvachinja, ma price ari kuchinja. Patiri pa timing ipapo tikutaura timing yekupuwa mari yekuti mari isendewe kuma suppliers edu, kwete timing yema repayments ema loan. ndofunga sekuti semazera anoita ikonomi yedu mamiriro yakaita mabusiness cycles akasiyana siyana tichipinda kuhurumende nekumaprivate organizations mari inenge ichida kureplacewa back martgs of which dzimwe nguvawo sebusiness rangu ranenge ndakatorawo ndendine maquotations ekublack market card ekumaprivate organizations asiri muhurumende saka tichidawo kuti say my loan is due musi wa7 but tinonyatsa kuziva kuti necycle redu vanhu vatibetsera vane mari masoldiers macivil servants mateachers nechii tichidawo an extension kuti kana iri 7 mukandipawo extension yeweek kana 2 weeks zvadzo ndinokwanisa kubhadhara mari iyoyo ndakwanisa kundochinja nekunotora kuvanhu handendakapa poindi yenyamatano yekuti hatingangotangi nekukwitisai chinhu chikuru yakakosha chose because chinhu chikuru chinogona kufeila but pachinhu chidoko icho chacho chaita for example project yehuku kana ndandichirequestawo ku200 mukanditi chimbotangawo ne100 tokumbirawo zvekuti pari kunzi maquotations paya uyai nequotation rimwe kana maviri zvinhu zvatinoshandisa kuhuku zvakasiyana siyana kana kuti kune maprojects akasiyana siyana zvinobva kwakasiyana siyana kune kumwe kusina zvinhu zvakaita senge maratya kana zveheating kuri kutonhora haungaiti business rehuku pasina heating magesi achienda saka tari tichikumbiravo zvekuti pacapacity ipapo kana muchinge mati huku 100 chitipaivozve neaccess yekuti tiise mishonga zvimwe zvinhu zvoda kuisiwa kuti business racho iroro recapacity yamati parisaflopa kwete kuti zvisonzi chibvisawozve chisaga chesimenti chanadida kunamisa chirugu kana kuti bvisa asbestos chiti rakuda kuisa iro kana pane zvimwe zvinhu zvinenge zvichidiwavo zvisina maquotations tinokumbira zvoti muzvipinzewozve paassessment yenyu yekuti pamalonzi
takamboitawo proposal pamasvingo bhaja zvinhu zvavaitaisira kuti isusu tinge tichivapa secollateral ndakaona zvakanyanya kuti kuva too high kuti isusu tikwanise kuaccommodata nezvishoma zvatinazvo izvozvo nenyaya yekuti maresources tisina ende ndichizivawo kuti tirikufamba neagenda yekuti timobilize maresources kubva kumining futi handiti chii chimwe chatingakwanisawo kuitigwawo kubvawo kuministry of youth kana kuempower bank kuti isusu semayoung miners tikwanise kubatsirikawo tichionawo kuti mastartup acts akapromisiwa nemukuru wenyika pavakamboadresa ndakangozoona wangu patv ivo vachiti kumining vachange vachiita mastartup acts ekuti kana mune claim and or maybe mune syndicate handiti mapepa enyu ari up to date youth empowerment inofanira kufacilitata kuti mukwanise kuvawo nezvimwe zvenge zvichidiwa paground but takafamba maoffices awa chef zveshuwa ende ndoona sekuti kana tauya kunokuku zvinotaurika kuti zvinzwikwe handiti but nowadays nenyaya yekuti ukafamba utatu kana una mindiro ichadza kunge ichichinja vachisuppressa saka ipapo ndokumbira kuti chef muconsiderewo vanhu vanoita nezvemining especially kune vechidoko because farming zvayo ndoinzwisisa but mining inoda kuti chipawanewo vanobatsiridza kuti zvifambe.
Empower Bank, when you look at Empower Bank, look at it as a development bank, a development micro bank. Because when we look at a young person, we look at you from the point of view of developing you and nurturing you. We are interested in whether you are bankable. Do you have an account in the first place? If you do, if you don't, we then encourage you to open an account. Number two, are you able to go into business in the normal sense of the word? So we look at your training needs. We want to capacitate you, to train you, so that you are able to start business like all other business people. Then the other thing that we look at, we don't look at your project and say, it's security as one would look at. We have 5 C's that we look at. First and foremost, we look at the character. Are you able, have you gotten a loan before and did you service it? And we find that most of the youth it will be their first time. So they have no record, they have no bad record. So that's a tick. Then we say that's number one. Condition, what kind of business do you want to start? Do you have a market? Do you have the requirements that are required? For instance, material around the area. So that's number two. business conditions, are you able to operate in those business conditions in that environment? And then we look at the capacity. Number one, remember I talked about capacity of you yourself as a youth. Are you able to run the business? There we address that through training, where we say, okay, business management, record keeping, and all other issues. But we then look at capacity. Once you have been given that kind of amount, are you able to service the loan? So we look at now financial viability. Is the project viable? Where we don't have branches, we have agents. In some cases, we are still working on the agents. But already on the ground, we're 26 agents. We expect to have an Empower Bank agent in every district. By the end of this year, we'll have 73 agents. So you'll find in every district there will be an Empower Bank representative. The Empower Bank representative, they will take applications, you'll pay, you'll swipe there. Every service that we do at our main branches will be done at that agent. But if you have any community leaders that you think can be part of the agencies, please, you are free to consult. You can consult even at a branch level or at your head office. We'll take that up and we'll train the agencies. We are interested to be in every district. And then in terms of timing, we probably apologize. You can tell me the situation that's here on the ground. Otherwise, our projects should be done timeously because they have different levels. Within some projects are approved within 2-3 days, some within 7 days. We should be able to approve those projects within the various time limits that you expect. In terms of quotations, yes, we were trying to manage the risk because our experience in the previous, I'll keep on referring to that, youths were not paying. So that's why we said to minimize the risk, we send the money to your supplier. But at times there is a bit of working capital that you need. That one you should be able to give you. In terms of collateral that you raised, I don't think we can say there's a minimum. You need to probably engage, as I said. And if you think the answer you are being given, you are not happy with it, please escalate. Your problems can be solved at any level. If you are not happy and probably branches insist, or I insist, or HOD insists, you can escalate and get to whichever level that you want to get. But as long as the whole thing, you need to be satisfied, you need to be empowered at the end of it all. When we've done everything and we've done every discussion, we need to empower you. That's the bottom line. You need to get access to the money, you need to get access to the training. If you get the money, pay so that next time you'll be given some more fund. And then pay. That's how even those that started small, young like you, and they started small projects and they grew. And now they are big corporates. So my encouragement to you is get what you can get, pay, build a name.
My engagements are akanaka because for any program to succeed, we need feedback from the beneficiaries or the target group like my youths. Saka pavanouya vachitaura kuti vari kusevhiwa sei zvinobatsira in the planning and strengthening of the programs. Saka tahwa maissues avo, Empower Bank yanzwa maissues avo, isu seministry tazviwa, parliament yazviwa. Saka that approach inoita kuti panoda Empower Bank vagadzirise, panoda support yeministry igadzirisewo, panodawo legislative framework kuti igadzirise in terms of the running yemabanks, especially in particular youth bank yogadzirisa, because bhengi rinooperator richishandisa mitemo yeRBZ, and it is only the parliament that can change
mastatutes iwayo through their legislation. Chikuru chabuda nyaya yecollateral, it has been taken note of, and I think we will engage the bank at ministry level kuti tione kuti vechidiki zvavasina collateral ivo vachida kuengage mumaprograms zvingaitwa sei, because the purpose yekuisa collateral yava yekuti vave serious nekudzosa mari. You find previous funds anga achitaurwa kuti haana kudzoka because vanhu vaingotora mari, saka the government has to cushion, or the bank has to cushion mari iyoyo through collateral, but it has to be flexible because of the client yatiri kutarisa muyouth achiri kukura.